What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, and this is another pilot review. This is the Tattooist of Auschwitz. It's currently available on Peacock. It's a limited series, and I've seen the first 2 episodes to talk about. So, not really even just a pilot review anymore. I don't know why I'm doing this. I keep reviewing the first 2 episodes. Uh, yeah. So, it's yet another Holocaust drama. I literally watched an episode of We Are the Lucky Ones and The Tattooist of Auschwitz in the same day. It was a very, very dark day for me. Um, but this one's got Harvey Keitel, Jonah Hauer-King, and Melanie Lynskey starring in it. If you guys don't remember who Jonah Hauer-King is, he was Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid. So this is a dramatic step up for him in terms of role and content of the role and being able to show off what he can do. So this has Emmy potential behind it. I could easily see this being nominated for Emmys. When I saw the first episode, I thought it was a little slow. It was a little slow building. It was a little, they do this thing where they jump back and forth in time. It starts off with Harvey Keitel like telling this story, and he has to have breaks, and there's a character that he's talking to, and they go back and forth, and there's this supposedly this tragic love story that he's telling about. And we find out as the first episode goes on that his character ends up, I think his character's name is Lolly, and he ends up being the tattooist of Auschwitz, literally the guy who is in charge of putting the numbers on the people as they come in. And when he's there one day, he meets briefly, he tattoos a number on a Jewish inmate, and he is himself. Like I don't know if that's not clear. He's not a Nazi. He's stuck in the same bunkers and has the same. This is the job that he's been given to do, is to tattoo numbers. And so obviously that weighs heavy on him, that he's doing this to his own people and everything. But people have all sorts of different jobs in this camp, and when they become useless, that's when they just get killed. And it's this is a very dark series, but it's Auschwitz is in the title, so I don't really know what you thought this was going to be. If you thought this was going to be like a happy rom-com, no, Roberto Benigni didn't make this, so there's no upside to this. There's no, oh, look at the bright side of the Holocaust. Life is beautiful, guys. But it's dark. I actually thought it got better in the second episode. Once we're established and we're in place and we know who the characters are, then they can actually start having relationships and dynamics and working back and forth, and it's less of this weird back and forth between like Harvey Keitel and the story, and which kind of does slow down the progress a little bit, talking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Sometimes he interjects for like a brief second, you know. Other times it's really effective when it seems like he's starting to tell a story, and then it's like there's something he didn't want to admit to or talk about, and then he goes back and he's like, actually, that's not how it happened. And he mentions this thing that he had tried to leave out, that he was too hard for him to talk about. And those moments work really well. That's the best way to use Harvey Keitel. And Keitel's great in this. I think he could easily get an Emmy nomination. It should be supporting, because he's not really doing much. He's kind of just telling a story. it's really Jonah Hauer-King who plays the lead, because we spend more time in the past than we do the present in this story. So, and Jonah Hauer-King just has way too many people in the lead in limited series. If they run him for that, way too many. He's not getting close to a nomination. Honestly, I don't think Harvey Keitel would either. They're just, this category is insane. I don't even know who they're going to nominate. I've seen too many limited series with just amazing performances. Performances that like are some of the best that I've seen in years in terms of the limited series category. I just don't know how they, I don't know how they pick. Voting is it's gonna piss me off no matter what, because they're gonna leave people off. As long as they don't include anybody dumb. As long as it's all solid, I'll be fine. But because I acknowledge that there are more than 5 people who should be nominated for that category. Just don't put anybody dumb in that race. Anyway, like I'd be okay with this. Like I can see, it's not that he's delivering a bad performance. It's just, damn, he's got some serious competition. Melanie Lynskey she's okay in this, but I mean, honestly, it's Melanie Lynskey and she's great in everything. She was in Last of Us for like 2 seconds and made an impact. So she just makes an impact in anything she's in. It's hard for me to say this is her best work, but although I haven't finished the show, so we'll see. This show caught on quicker with me than We Are the Lucky Ones, which I think took to like the 3rd or 4th episode before I was like, oh yeah, I get why this is different. I feel like you just can't make Holocaust dramas and just do them. Like there's so many, they're so well done that you can't just half-ass a Holocaust drama. You really have to have your own perspective. There has to be a reason for what it is that you're doing, and it has to be clear. You can't just make one. Just be like, well, we haven't made one in a while, so we're going to do something to depress the hell out of everybody. And it's like, well, what is your perspective? What is it that you're trying to do here? And We Are the Lucky Ones, I thought, didn't have a clear vision from the pilot. And then as the series grew, by like the 3rd or 4th episode, it really had its own voice. Tattooist of Auschwitz gets it a lot quicker in like the 2nd episode, when you start realizing sort of, okay, we're here, this is what's going on. And they establish the characters and their roles and their dynamics and everything. It has a very unique feel to it at that point. So I think it's a strong show. It's got strong performances. It's not happy, but I think everybody knows that. And it's better than Peacock's last limited series, Apples Never Fall, which is possibly the worst limited series that I sat through. There were some limited series that I did dip out of, like The Crowded Room, I didn't finish. Had I finished it, maybe there would have been a debate about which one was worse. But yeah, so I'm going to give The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which, by the way, has really solid audio description, a totally appropriate narrator who sounds perfectly appropriate for the material that they're describing. There's a reverence to it. Everything. It's very well matched and well done. And the little details and everything are all of the little, when they hide things, or it talks about how the Nazis, when they catch a Jewish person in the camp who is injured at all, that they sentence them to death. So if you get a scrape, it could get infected and you could literally die because of it. Just getting a slight cut, you could get infected. So anyway, just dark. This is a dark series, but it's pretty good. And after first 2 episodes, I'm in. So I'm going to say I'll give Tattooist of Auschwitz an A-. So check it out. That's it. I'm not going to keep recapping this series. So You'll just have to see my next TV show recap. See you guys on the other side.